Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the July 8th edition of the Lock in Your Success Trade and Market Update. I hope that everybody had a great 4th of July. The markets last week were a little bit bullish at the beginning of the week and turned around on Friday. In general, the markets have not been paying a lot of attention to the shorter term price patterns and shorter term resistance levels, or support levels. So it seems that what we're getting is primarily news driven, and that traders really don't know what to do. Our longer term charts, if you're on a 5-year chart or even a daily chart, are still bullish. However, our very short term movements really should be bearish for at least for the start of the week. So, I'd kind of expect us to come down into this area and then probably bounce. We'll have to see if that holds. But like I said, the market has not been paying a lot of attention to these areas, so we'll have to see what happens with the news. And the Russell has as we were saying earlier, the Russell's been the leader in this recent rally, and it's had a much bigger move, and it's a lot closer to its all-time highs than pretty much anything else. So this has been pretty bullish. Even so, for it to continue up, I would expect a pullback at least to another 10 points probably. And even more likely would be a pullback to the support area here at 790. So a little bit further down movement is what I'm expecting here. The Dow, same thing. We'll probably pull back into this trend line before we bounce, and the NDX looks like it's going to pull back a little bit before it bounces. So very short term bearish. Longer term bullish is still my opinion, unless we start breaking these levels, in which case we'll probably start testing our more primary support levels. As far as our positions, we are in the Russell, and as I was saying, the Russell has had a monster move. If we take a look here, let's see. I think last time we talked, we were way down here in the 765 level, 760 level. And we bounced at least 60 points in that 4 or 5 days. So that's very bullish price movement. And being in bearish butterflies, it didn't feel too good. But we'll look at those in a minute. As far as the M3 goes, this position here is up slightly now. We've rolled up to from 750 to 770. We added some verticals in here. I did do a trade update on this during the week, and we wanted to correct because we had to roll up because we wanted to correct our Vega. We wanted to get our theta a little bit higher, and I wanted to get up a little bit closer to the market. Basically, I'm just looking for an opportunity to exit this thing. If we start pulling back down to the 785 area, some decent money should actually come into this. I would bet that if we were to pull down to 790, then we'd probably be looking at a profit of close to $2,000 in this, as long as it comes back at a reasonable pace. If we get a very sharp move, if a volatility spike, that may not happen. But if we can drift back to 790 and get a couple grand out of this, I would pull it. Being this late, close to expiration, if I can take a reasonable profit and move on, I'll do that. Just go into August, where things are a little bit easier to manage. But everything's looking fine. As of right now, I am a little high delta. I allowed this to go a little high delta and took on some extra upside risk. If we get a harsh up move tomorrow, I will be regretting that. But as it stands, I do believe I am short-term bearish. So, like I said, I let this slightly exceed our delta level. I have 6 butterflies on. I really shouldn't be much over high 50s, 60 delta max, but like I said, I let this go a little high. All right, let's take a look at the bearish butterflies we have on. We will take a look at the July 1st before we take a look at the August. Right now, we have settled back nicely right into the middle of the graph. We are only looking for $500 out of this thing. If the market opens flat tomorrow and stays that way for a good part of the morning, this should easily be able to come off for around that much money. It was showing up like $300 or $400 at the close on Friday. So if we get a big market move, it's not going to. I may end up I may end up pulling this anyway. If we get too much of an aggressive move, I'll probably just pull it off. It's just not worth risking the loss here this late in the trade. Like I said, we were in 1/3 a week and a half ago, and this big up move threw us in. But we were close to expiration, and the trade handled that big up move really well. So really happy with that. We'll see what happens when that level on Monday. Like I said, we may be able to get this off on Monday. Definitely on Tuesday if we stay even within a 10-point range here. Let's take a look at our August position. This here we ended up being fully scaled in. We had to do a delta roll, and this position is now now 476. And it looks fine. I mean, this is pretty much what we want on the trade for the most part. We would like an up move to get fully scaled in, and then we'd like the market to drift back into here and hang out here for a while. The one challenge we had is that the market conditions were so skewed at the time we had to do a delta roll, and in doing that we got hurt pretty bad on that position. We took almost a $5 loss on our initial butterfly, but it's a little bit more than normal. But like I said, when the market conditions are skewed, that sometimes happens. Either way, the trade looks perfectly fine. We have a roll point at 820, and if it just hangs out here for a part of the week this week, it really won't be a problem. We can, if the market wants to continue up, we should be able to hit this 820 roll point and remain in the position until we hit our 850 major resistance level on our charts. So again, I'm happy with this position. It looks good. And last but not least is make sure you catch the SMB Options Drive meeting this Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern. I will post a link on the YouTube and on the website. We're launching the M3 trading system video series on Tuesday, which is going to be I'm really excited about it, and I've helped and coached tons of traders with this M3 system, and it's made a tremendous difference in their trading. And like I said, I get testimonials and letters all the time, which I'm going to actually start posting to the website pretty soon. But it's been great teaching people and watching them improve their trading and so forth. And I finally got that video series together. We got it taped down with my friends at SMB Training out in New York City, and it's good to go. So we will be starting the sale of that Tuesday night. So make sure you catch that. And again, I'll post the link. Until then, have an awesome week, and I'll keep you updated with any movement in the trades. Thank you and good night.